Hi, my name is Nancy. Welcome to the Heart Club. He, for God, for him. A, my little easel, for art. R, for religion. T, for your talent. And we're out here doing some plein air art. P-L-E-I-N, art. Outdoor art, which is the smart thing to do these days. This is my website. It'll be showing, my email will be showing on the page below. So the Heart Club is a gift-making fine art club where we create gifts. This is a coat. This is a leather jacket for a lady, size small. And I actually will be selling this afterwards. And for you, you could be making a Christmas gift on a denim jacket. I think this wonderful Rosso Cherub would translate very well onto a denim jacket or a tote. So that's the gift. The featured biblical character is none other than Dorcas, because she clothes the poor. So I'm going to tell you the story. You're going to get the memory verse. You're going to learn how to make a gift. The first thing we're going to do is, by the way, I've taught art for several decades in Southern California Christian academies, and I've brought art programs to the Western United States and Canada. And now I'm doing the Heart Club, the Child at Heart Club gifting series. You're going to want to have ahead of time a whole cluster of fall colored. Not that this is actually good, would be a very nice Christmas gift, but the colors in this cherub and guitar are all the fall colors. So on my palette, I have poured, like I said in another art class, and I will always keep saying, these old colors are amazing. The French artists were grinding them with lead, and so this one's called Yellow Ochre. I love the names. This is Yellow Ochre. This is Titanium White. The yellow is called Deep Yellow. I poured, this is the best color here, and this one is Vermilion. And then there's this orange, which is called Orange. There is Burnt Sienna. That's an ancient name. And Red Ochre. That's another name. This is Crimson Red. Mars Black. Don't use it. We're not going to use a lot of black. But we do use Mars Black, and this brown is called Raw Umber, which is a brown black. So ahead of time, get your paints poured, and grab some brushes. I'm liking these sable ones right now. Sable are the soft horsehair ones. They're more brown. The more white paintbrushes are the boar, the pig. They're very seriously for oil on canvas. This is called acrylic. These are acrylics, and I hope you have some at home. By now, most people have an awful lot of art supplies at home. And this online class is in your lessons. I'm doing 2 a month that you can purchase. They're going to include printouts where you can print out this beautiful cherub called the Musical Cherub by Rosso, R-O-S-S-O, and you'll get like a tracing thing if you want to trace. There's a few printouts, all printouts, and then I'll have a supply list, a recommended supply list that you can pre-order from any art store that you want. So that's how it works. So about the artist. His name is Rosso Fiorentino, which tells us that he's from Florentine and that he's a redhead. And this is his picture called The Musical Cherub. He lived from 1495 to 1540. He was part of the Renaissance artists. He associated with Raphael. Raphael did this one. And doesn't it just tell you that they might have been hanging out at the same place? These angels with their red wings, and I love the color. I love the cherubs. This is just so Renaissance art. So he hung out with Michelangelo also. He fled from Rome during a war to France, and he went to the prestigious back in the beginning of the 1500s. He went to the school, the Chateau Fontainebleau. That is a famous place. So the theme is this is Dorcas. She's from the Bible. Her Greek name is Dorcas. Her other name is Tabitha in the Bible. She was a wealthy widow, and she made clothes for the poor, especially the needy widows. She clothed the people of Joppa. And her life, her talent, her service was caring for these needy people. She was in a position of wealth. She was a widow, and she clothed them. And then she died. And all the widows were crying, and they were holding up all the garments, the robes, the things, it says in the Bible that they were holding up the robes, the things that she had made for them and given to them. And so they called Peter from the nearby town of Lydda, Lydda. And in Acts 9:39, they said that the widows had her body laid out for burial. They sent for Peter. He came from the nearby town. He sent the women out of the room. He got on his knees, the Bible says, in Acts 9:42, which you're going to write on this, along with your autograph, you're going to put Acts 9:42. He said, he got on his knees and he prayed, and he said, Tabitha, get up. And the Bible quote that we're going to use is, and many people believed in the Lord. What a story. So as far as this lesson, we're going to paint this musical cherub. And of course I love the fact that these Renaissance artists like the music, because the things in the Bible from Isaiah were that there are some angels that just say, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Some of them, they're just all praising God. It's all about music in heaven. So let's start painting. I'm going to start with this. It's not a guitar. I had the word. I'll think of the word. It's a really old musical instrument. So let's paint it so it can be drying before we do more things. And I'm going to go pretty solid with this one. This yellow ochre is going to really be a good color. So I'm just going to paint right on the leather, just like you're going to paint right on the denim. And I'm going to have to think of what this instrument's called. It was it's a really neat word. So this angel looks really tiny next to this big old instrument, whatever the name is. And isn't this cool that the leather skin on this has some texture that I can work around? And I don't care about the seams. This is really fun art. And this kind of material, denim, canvas, totes, it makes you look like a really good artist because it carries itself very well. So this little angel has his cute little cheek plonked on the edge of this instrument. So let's paint it all the way down here. Okay, I'm just basically filling in the basic color. You know, I like to use more than one color to make things interesting. Now, this is quite kind of a beautiful, almost a gold color. But we're going to add a little secondary color. Isn't this dramatic and awesome? How black the entire background. This almost looks like Cherub, which is Caravaggio, which was around that time, where it's just highlighting just the arm, little elbow shadow, a few fingertips, and of course the light in this picture is coming from this side, lighting up the whole wing, and that whole streak there is very gloriously grand. So I'm going to add just a slight dark trim just to sort of set this off. And give it a little more dimension on the edge of this instrument. Okay, in fact, I'm going to broaden this and almost look like it's the edge of the instrument. Same thing across here, kind of broaden it. And then they just hint at a little bit of a, you'd never know my son was a conductor because I don't know the name. Oh, bridge. I'm going to kind of hint at this bridge. I'm going to kind of hint at some strings. Now this is not going to be easy. Let's see, how am I going to hint at these strings? I could have gone a lot bigger with this beautiful musical instrument. I have a feeling David, no, he had more of a harp. King David had more of a harp. These go all the way here. So if I keep repeating this, I'm going to look like a mandolin. Finally. Okay, it's a mandolin. Oh, it even has, they even hinted some lines that go across this way. This angel knew what it was doing. And I'm going to go back and sort of blot this out a little. Erases it a little, blend it a little, just a hint. And I can go back and touch this up just a little bit. Alright, so now the inside has tremendous detail to it. The inside, and we can move really fast with this kind of stuff if you just dab into that beautiful taupey brown. And just kind of go like this. Save a lot of time. But I want some of the gold with it too. But it looks like it's all hand carved in there. Actually, I think the artist did the same thing I did. I think he just did it really quick. You want to be careful for the fingers. Save room for the cute little cherub fingers. This finger is bent down, very much in action, in motion, which is really neat. Alright, so we're working on this mandolin. So that, I'm going to stick with that for now. Alright, so let's face the heart, let's face the music. Let's do the cherub's face. think plural for cherub is cherubim. Now, I don't want this to look like this is coming over his fingers, but I'll be painting his fingers on top. Alright, let's get it over with. So I'm actually going to go with some of this color of this leather for the face. And so I'm just going to highlight this. This doesn't take very much of a shadow to show this angel's. I'm adding some brown, some of that burnt sienna, and I'm going to add I'm making the shadows for his face and his or her eyes. And I'm using the brown, so I'm making like a gray brown, but there's a lot of life and blood flowing through this angel. I think they have blood flowing in them. And it's very warm color. I'm going to switch over to here. I like this shadow color better. And I'm going to do more brown. So this has more warmth and life to it. So I didn't like that. Actually, you're not going to believe what I'm going to do. This is a beautiful color for these wings over here. So here we go. I'm going to just use the paint. And I'm going to save room for the red interior of these wings, these gorgeous, colorful, creative wings. There's also a bit of white added to them, too. So they start out real full. Oh, I love this one right there. And then they go, and there's multiple colors. And then there's the red. I'm going to watch out for the red. And wings are so fun. And then they're really kind of just hinting along here, just like this. Oh, I love working on this. I love working on this leather. This is just really a high point here, so I'm going to go this direction. I'm going to do a little bit of this here, a little bit under shadow. And this artist, these little stripes, they look like the little spiny bone of a wing. All right, let's keep having fun with bright wings since we've got the color. I'm not going to mess with the red. This is kind of arched over. By the way, this is not going to be a machine washable. Of course, the leather isn't, but your denim coat, a tote, you're going to spray it afterwards with a fixative. You can get it at any art store, and hope you don't get it too dirty. You can spot clean it. So there's some short wings, and some of these behind here are a little darker. And there's a little bit of the beautiful golden here at the top. So I'm going to actually hang onto this brush and hit the red. Oh, these crimsons. This one. This is the one. But I like to do two colors. I like to use the 2 shades of reds that we poured because it just makes it rich. See how those 2 colors wings are just awesome. And let's even go with a dab of white to lighten it just a little bit. Slightly. Back to my 2 colors here. And they come to points. These wings come to points. This brush is a little too fat. I'm going to switch. All right. I'm going to hang on to this so that you can see the 2 shades of reds even throwing in a little bit of this orange. And I'm going to go all the way up to this mandolin. There's a big shadow. Look at this cool mandolin shadow on the arm of that. We've got to include that. So we're going to do it right now. We're going to go dark. Right here is dark. And I'm going to get right up to this cherub's face. There's his cute little cheek. Isn't that easy? I like this color. I'm going to keep going with this color. For under his nose, they gave him a cute little pointy nose shadow. And they gave him this darling little lip is leaning on the mandolin. I need to make him look a little more fleshy. And I'll work on this. Little finger painting. Anyway, so this is a dark shadow here. And these come to kind of like real points, serious feather points. Feather, feather point, feather point, feather point, feather point. Okay. Now, let's get some over here. This one has a lot more white. Do you see the white in there with the pure orange? So this is the sunny side, the bright side, the light, the side lit up by God's light. Oh, we've got plein air sirens going. Okay, so we're going to go up to his beautiful red hair. How fun that a red-headed artist liked using a red-headed angel, huh? So these have little spines in them. Let's get some little tiny spines going in these. And we're going to make it, actually they're not the same. The white is behind these. I think I can get it a little better at doing that there. Okay? And I think at the core of this one, there actually really is a little bit darker red. Kind of gives it some interest here. Just a little deep red going that direction. So, let's see, is there enough total white here going? I think I'd like a little more. Boy, these are beautiful wings. All right, so moving along. You think I'm procrastinating doing this beautiful angel skin, and you're right. But the time has come. So that arm is very light. And there's not a lot of flesh color in it. It's more of the yellow, more of a golden hue too. Such a white cherub, white-skinned cherub. And I think that's reflecting God's beautiful brilliance. Now, the elbow has a ton of color in it. And I was telling you in another art class that the elbow has that crimson and vermilion in it, and we'll add that in just a minute. So this part of the arm is behind the fore part of the arm. That is too close to the guitar color. So I'm going with a little more flesh. This cute little arm. Now, the elbow is very important. Isn't it neat how it shows the elbow bone? It's a fat little elbow, fat little cherub. Shadowing under here. There's a turn. Now all these fingers have more flesh that show in them. And this finger I love is just a turn down. turn down. There's a little shadow going along here. And then this finger is here, here, here. And they all have a little highlight on the top of each finger. It's so wonderful to work on a product like this. This leather gives you a lot of slack. So there's a reflected yellow color right here in the turn of his arm. Even darker, even a darker brown. Just a little, oh, and the shadow too. We got to get a shadow. I want to get the movement of that arm turning right there. Cool. Now, let's get a little shadow on the guitar. Let's work on our shadows. No, our mandolin. And there's kind of some shadowing darkness here and shadowing here. And, even this is kind of almost outlined there. And fingers are so cute. They're kind of innocent, but they do have a little fatness to them. He's plucking the strands. 1, 2. Cute little cherub fingers. You don't get to paint those every day, right? So I want this shadow to look a little more like it's on the guitar and not part of his arm. His or her arm. Now, this arm, this is pretty dark, but there's a lot of gorgeous reds and deep flesh colors going on over here. Because this is the Caravaggio style of being very he doesn't want you to really notice too much over here. Except, he does want you to notice that light popping through. So that's a real golden, light white, popping through, kind of a V-shape thing. The fingers are lit up. 1, 2, 3, and this fourth one is cutest down a little further, and then you just kind of see the bridge of it. There's some hot crimson in there though, because that's where the flesh blows, the flesh shines through. That is a very dark shadow. Oops, got some white in there. Don't want the white. Get it real dark. Dark and with some red, so fleshy. Dark, fleshy. There. That's a good color. Good, good, good. Tone it down a little. So let's see. So this angel's face is very golden. Let's see what we come up with. Golden skin. Some flesh to it. There. Let's start with this. Now, I want his cheek to look like it's setting there. So here's this little cheek shadow. Need a little more fatness there. And this whole cheek over here is bright pink. And it makes me nervous to do it really bright pink, but I will. Because cherubs can pull it off. Now we need his upper lip. Let's see, he needs a little skin right here too. And his eyes are gorgeously cast down. He's looking down. And this eye is completely out of sight. Don't you love that crimson on the cheek, around the nose? This is a good artist. This artist. I'm going to do a little more. Ooh, I'm losing my light outside. A little more of that color. I need an eyebrow to make him look not human, but look alive. God created angels. And now I'm going to do that darling little lip that he's got going. I'm going to stop there right now. Sometimes it's better to stop. Except he has some beautiful red on this eyelid, giving him some sweetness. He has a little red on this nose. And his cheek's pretty happy. So, before I lose my sunlight, which is rapidly setting, we're going to make him a redhead. And it's not red. It's this color and gold. In this color. I love this wave, this curl. I love this. So here's some wonderful waves in this guy, or girl, or angel. This is where you can get away with a lot with swirls. Whoops. Darker, it's darker up here. So I'm going to lay down some color here, and then we're going to highlight it. So, wow, look at this artist even swirled the hair over here. So let's get some dark. Let's get some dark hair swirling over here into the wings. And there's a dark crown right there. But let's go back to some of these beautiful golden locks. I'm going to go up to the face. This artist gave this angel a lock that curls right on his nose. Very cute. And this is all very dark. So we're not permitted to see too much there. But let's get these gorgeous swirls laid down. Swirl, swirl. Sprouting hair. Some super highlights. I'm going to use my bright yellow for a few streaks. We're going to streak this angel's hair. Look at it catching all the bright light from God's holy light. Okay, I'm going to work on this a little more, but I think you get the general idea of musical Cherub by Rosso, R-O-S-S-O, the Dorcas gift that you can give for Christmas or for really any time of the year. But I think angels are pretty nice for Christmas. And you can get wild and crazy and have some fun. So these fingers need a little more detail. A lot of warm color going on in here. But maybe a little light along the edge. Nothing like some finger painting. I'm going to detail a little more fleshness to these fingers. And This one is kind of off to its own side. And this arm is very dark, but he does have a palm that's coming out below the guitar, or the instrument. Let's see here. Arm needs to be a little more golden warm. This little angel has muscles, huh? And here, when you add colors upon colors upon colors, you just make it get all that much richer. Okay, fingers, fat little pink fingers, pink and white. Right here is kind of where the knuckles go. It's a little more highlight on the face. Ooh, this little cheekbone's all lit up. This is lit up under here. Over here. Except he's got the cutest swirly curl. So I'm just going along doing a few little more details. I'm gonna go that way. Of course angels would have this. I'm going to take out this super big clump. And that'll do.